Hi, welcome to another edition of The Exclusive with Kemi Ajumobi. My guest for today has a story that will inspire you. He was recently in Nigeria and I met up with him. His story tells me that if we're once living from paycheck to paycheck, you actually have hope. You have hope because Des also had hope. Oh, by the way, his name is Des Amy, and he's the founder and the CEO of Amy Finance Academy. Now, living from paycheck to paycheck made him miserable, but he found a solution to it and is helping people also find solutions to their financial problems. We had an interview in the beautiful Ebony Life Place, and it was indeed a learning moment for me. I'm sure you also learn one or two things from his story because he's set to inspire you in a way you did not see coming. So sit back, relax, and like I always say, enjoy. Hi, Des. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you doing?
Good. So good to have you in Nigeria. So how's your experience been so far?
It's been absolutely amazing. Excuse the pun.
So where have you been to us?
Okay, so we have mainly been on Victoria Island, but we have seen everything that there is to see on the island. We've briefly been on the mainland, been doing lots of networking, panels, and we've had an award show as well.
Oh, interesting. So talking about the experience so far, because this is your first time in Nigeria, yeah?
Indeed.
So how has it been? What can you say about the Nigerian environment?
Very hospitable, very friendly. There's never a dull moment, and I've been very privileged to be among, some of the big names in various different industries, from finance, fashion, makeup, art. It's been life-changing.
I'm tempted to ask you about Ghana jollof and Nigerian jollof, but I won't, because I think I know what your answer is, and that won't be fair.
Well, actually,
have you tasted our jollof?
Jollof is, it's not bad. It's okay, but I'm actually a fried rice man personally. I like fried rice.
Okay. So you're not here, you're not there.
There you go. Oh.
And you try to be patriotic to your country, so you want to say something.
Everybody likes their mom's rice. That's it.
That was a real escape. That's fine. All right. So I love to take people back, and the reason is simple, so that people will understand where you're coming from. So I like to go way back, like childhood. So what kind of childhood did you have? How has it helped to become the amazing person you turned out?
Incredible. So I was born in Accra, in a Colleyville hospital. My father was a medical student, a biomedical professional. My mom was a nurse. They met in a hospital. I was born in that hospital.
Okay.
My father got a scholarship to come to London to continue his medical advancement. So my parents gave me two career options: either become a doctor or become a doctor. It was as simple as that. But the blueprint that my parents gave me was to study hard at school, work hard, get that good, steady job, and then try and advance in your career, and everything will be okay. I was sold a dream by my parents. It didn't quite, work out like that. Parents are very well-meaning, but unfortunately, they don't have the financial, principles that I now know.
Okay. So, at what point did you think it was okay to start your academy? And maybe we should start by asking what your academy is about, and why did you decide to?
So, before the whole finance journey, I was a secondary school teacher and a vice principal as well.
Really?
A vice principal, indeed.
Okay.
For over 15 years, believe it or not.
Wow.
Do not let the boyish looks fool you. I'm actually well-traveled, very well experienced. I loved my job. Working with young people is an absolute honor and a privilege. I don't know about here in the UK, here in Nigeria, but in the UK, teachers don't get paid very well, even vice principals.
Well, you're not far from the truth. Maybe just lay that out.
So for me, I ended up living what we call paycheck to paycheck. I would get paid and my money couldn't stretch until the end of the month. I was working to just pay my bills. I ended up in debt over £35,000. And I realized I was living the very definition of insanity, which is doing the same thing over and over again, yet expecting a different outcome. And that's when I realized that something had to change. What I noticed as well, being a school teacher, was that the school system was failing pupils. Pupils didn't have a basic understanding of financial literacy. And that's how Amy Finance came about. It was wanting to help the average person to understand finances and how to level up with their finances. But also from a personal point of view, I wanted to, help myself as well. I read a quote by Les Brown that said, help enough people get what they want and you will get what you want. And that's what drives me in business.
Interesting. So if we look at when you started and where you are now, what would you say has changed and what are you looking forward to happen?
So living paycheck to paycheck was very stressful. I couldn't sleep at night. I wasn't able to, really look after my family. So now, God being so good, I'm an international speaker. I fly around the world teaching financial principles. There are 5 financial principles that govern my teaching. But we don't only give the theory, we give people practical solutions to their financial situation. And I'm so happy and grateful that we have created hundreds, if not thousands, of multi-6 and 7-figure income earners in dollar currency. United States though.
That you're passionate about financing and also SMEs, help them to raise funds. Let's talk about that. Because I know you do it in Africa. So where are the places that you've had that? And what is your general observation of people who are looking to expand their businesses and need funds?
So what a lot of people don't realize is that there are people who have money, high net worth individuals, and they are constantly looking for projects to put their money into. They just don't know where to find those people. And on the other side, you have, industrious people with good ideas, good business ideas, but they lack capital. So what we do is bring the two together. We have high net worth individuals who would like to do what we call joint venture partnerships with people that have the ideas, that have the business models. We bring them together in order to bring those projects to life, to create a genuine win-win for both parties. And we're doing that around the world, from the UK to the United States, in Ghana, and we're now looking to expand in Nigeria too.
We can't wait because we did lots of that in Nigeria.
Absolutely.
But to ask you about how you go about the process of choosing those who truly deserve, because when it comes to money, anybody can be like, oh, so I have this business. So how do you know I need to work with this person or I don't need to work with this person? What's the criteria?
Absolutely.
How do you, make your choices?
So of course, everything starts with the business plan, the pitch, the deck. There are people that have amazing ideas, but what separates people from me, apart from the initial idea, are the 3 C's, as I call them. Being committed, being coachable, and being consistent. They're the 3 C's. If people can be coachable, then they can partner with the company in order for us to find them a match and to mentor them on the journey as well.
One interesting thing about you is that you don't only tutor people who are in SMEs and want to become better at their businesses. You also speak to people who have their money but just want to know how to make the right decisions. So linking it to your 3 C's, how do you manage people who say they want to be coached, who want to be mentored, who want to know how to do their business as well, and then they don't match up with the 3 C's, but they have everything, every other T crossed and I dotted?
So that's a very good question, and we do come across those kind of people. For me, the 3 C's is a hard line. It's non-negotiable for me. If somebody is not coachable, then it's a non-starter. For want of a better expression, you're not going to be a good fit for us, because what will happen is the project will start, and if you're not coachable, then there's going to be all kinds of pitfalls and unnecessary hurdles that we have to cross, and battles that we just don't need. So for me, that's kind of the sieving process. In the early stages, where we're looking to see people who are going to be committed on the journey, because this journey is not easy. Most people expect the journey to be a smooth ride, but what actually happens is there are pitfalls, there are barriers, there are hurdles, and if you don't have the right mindset, then working with Ame Finance is not going to be for you. Being committed is doing the thing that you said you were going to do when the mood you said it in has long left you. And for many people, they're very fired up in the beginning, but when the challenges come, they don't have that staying power. They quit, 6 inches before, finding the gold. So for me, they're kind of red lines.
So let's bring it back from I'm passionate for my country. So permit me to ask, how can Nigerians benefit from the services that you render? There are loads of SMEs. Like I said, the basic thing is always financing. There are different people helping, but you can never have enough of people. So how can Nigerians benefit? What do you have to offer Nigerians? What do they stand to gain, from listening to you or learning from you?
So we've partnered with another amazing organization known as ETAL, Embracing All Tones of Women and Men. And together we've been able to put together a platform where Nigerians can contact us directly on the ETAL website. And then we are then able to initiate the application process. We'll take in business plans online, and from there we can interview people on Zoom and start to get the process underway for finding a match for them.
So what are you looking for in that selection? From what you've heard or what you do of Nigerians, what are you expecting?
We're looking for people to be creative, people who can solve a problem. When people are thinking of business ideas, I always say, what problem are you solving? Have you found a way to serve people? Most people find business ideas from frustration. So there's something that's frustrating them in everyday life, and then they find a solution to that problem. So as a starting point, I would say, are you solving a particular problem? But also we're very keen to work in the digital space. We have a lot of investors who are looking for people in the blockchain space as well. In the blockchain is the future, whether we like it or not. So techpreneurs are very, their applications are very much welcomed.
So now that you've spoken about the digital space, we're very passionate about that space in business today. So let me just ask you directly to say, if somebody wants to reach out to you, how can they do that? And also, still talking about that digital space, how are you using your gifts and what you have to offer to reach out to people who need your services through digital space?
So I'm reaching out to people using social media networks. Instagram is a great way for people to connect with me. I can share my handle with people. So it's Des_Ame Finance.
Okay. Des_Ame Finance. Okay.
That's correct. Also places like Clubhouse, Snapchat. These are where young people are hanging out. We're trying to interact with them, and TikTok, for example, and really try to show that business doesn't have to be so stuffy. There's a fun side to it as well, and we're getting a lot of interaction on those platforms.
Okay, so let me take you back to your core. You started off, helping businesses, to raise funds and all of that. Then when you discovered that they were interested in personal finance, you went into that, and hence the birth of your academy. What were the experiences that those people shared with you that made you feel, what, we need to go into personal finance? Because if they give these people this money and you don't know how to spend, it's a problem. Yeah. So at what point did you say, what, we need to go into this? And how has that helped to explain what you stand for better?
Absolutely. So what we were finding were that there were a lot of business owners who were getting business loans. We were able to acquire, massive loans for some of these businesses. But as you alluded to, they were squandering the money. They weren't using it wisely. So, you can give somebody a lot of money, but if they don't know how to spend it wisely, a lot of it can just go to waste. So I was seeing that time and time again, and realizing that actually what was needed was good education. But also, there was a big demand for people needing access to personal finance. So a lot of these business owners were then asking me, well, can you help us with getting a mortgage for a house? Giving mortgage advice in the UK is a regulated space. So you need to retrain, and get a certain qualification known as a CMAP. So the demand for mortgage advice, the demand for personal loans, the demand for good financial education was just too much. So it was just a case of supply and demand. So myself and some of my colleagues, we acquired our qualifications, And then we rebranded from being a commercial entity to just AME Finance and then AME Finance Academy as well, to really service that big need, and to help people to get on the property ladder. That was a big goal for us, you know, to be one of the biggest providers of property advice and of properties, you know, helping people to source properties as well.
So, Des, I know you're passionate about mortgages, and if you look at the Nigerian environment, how can you contribute to that in helping people understand the advantages and how they can access it?
Absolutely. In Africa, we've had to be creative. You know, mortgages are not as prominent as they are in the UK and the US. So what we've designed is a membership rewards program that allows people to buy houses for cash. So what we've done is we've partnered with a multi-billion-dollar company, and
you don't want to mention the name, do you?
No,
Okay, that's fine. Because I knew you skipped that. I was like, let me ask, just in case he wants to change his mind. Okay.
We've now partnered with a multi-billion-dollar company, and we have a rewards program where people are paid every single day, and through the compound effect, they are able to grow a very small amount of money into a large amount of money in a very short time frame. And people now in Africa, in Asia, and so many developing countries are able to use this rewards program to buy houses for cash. It's a very clear system. It works like clockwork, and it does exactly what it says on the tin. Our members get paid every single day.
So are Nigerians, I want to ask again, are Nigerians, do you see Nigerians as people who really love to buy into what you're doing? And how do you want to present it to them in a way that will make it understandable and something that they want to be involved with?
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, Nigerians definitely are interested in this. Since I've been here, we've had several events, we've had several meetings. Many Nigerians are getting started, and the reason why is because it ticks every single box of the 5 principles that I teach. So the 5 financial principles that I teach, number 1 is passive income, being able to make money without working for it, earning money whilst we're sleeping. This is what the rewards program does. Number 2 is compounding, the compound effect, being able to take a small amount of money and grow it into a large amount of money in a very short time frame. Number 3 is leverage, being able to leverage a system in order to grow our money. Number 4 is to make our money make more money. Most people exchange their time for money, which is very honorable, but there's a big flaw. There's only 24 hours in the day, so there's only so much money that we can exchange. And the very last principle is to have multiple sources of income. You know, most people rely on one source of income, and that's very, very dangerous. So what we're now doing is giving people 1, 2, or even 3 extra sources of income. They say the average wealthy person has at least 7 sources of income.
How many sources of income do you have? Do you want to answer that?
Well, absolutely. You know, I mean, all of this is biblical. Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 2 says very clearly that we should have at least 7 or 8 sources of income, for we do not know what disaster may come upon the land. So it's interesting you say that, because, you know, I was asked this question at another panel, and I had to calculate. So I'm very blessed, happy and grateful that I have 11 solid sources of income.
Wow, that's so good. I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, back at the ranch. So, your book, this was number 1 on Amazon at the time.
Yes.
How did that make you feel? So let's talk about the book, why you wrote it, and being number 1. That's a big deal.
It really, really was. Actually surpassed my expectations, because it's a very competitive market.
Yes, it is.
One thing I can tell you is that I didn't write the book in order to become rich. Although it's a nice income stream, but that wasn't my motivation. I was teaching certain principles around property, very exciting ways for people who don't have much money to be able to make passive income from property. You see, most people try to do it the old way, you know, trying to gather the money, buy property, you know, renovate it, you know, sell it on for a higher amount of money, or even rent out the rooms. However, those ways are no longer working in many parts of the world. So now what we teach are creative ways of making money from property without necessarily owning the property. So without going into too much detail, there are strategies where you can acquire properties from landlords, take full control, and rent them out, service accommodation like Airbnb, and make some very, very nice passive income, or even rent them out room by room to tenants. And you can make it's a very, very good business model. And I was getting so many requests to lecture and talk and so forth, and I was repeating myself over and over again. I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to put it all in a book. So if anybody has any questions, everything is in the book. I've not held back. A lot of people in this space, they won't give you everything in the book because they want you to attend one of their courses, which is fine. You know, it's a business model. You know, there's no hidden agenda with me. I've put everything in the book so that people can just get started.
I think you should say the title of the book, because the title just says what is inside already without thinking about it too much. You want to share what the title is? The title
is Starting Your Property Side Hustle.
That's so, it just tells you what you're going to find when you get inside. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So when you realized you were number one, how did that make you feel? Like you're, you know?
It was my assistant that called me and said, you've hit number one. And it was just, you know, momentum. You know, we had a big book launch. There was hundreds and hundreds of people on the book launch. It was an online book launch, and it just went viral. You know, I have a big following on Instagram as well. It felt amazing. It really, really did. But for me, what's better are the comments that I receive, the feedback. You know, people that have gone on to use the principles to grow their property portfolios. So that means more to me than hitting number one was superficial. It was nice, of course. You know, my ego was rubbed.
It was nice. It was nice. Hitting number one was nice. Let's say
nice.
It was nice.
It was very nice.
Okay.
I can't lie to you.
Okay. Okay. So, if you were to analyze where you are now, vis-a-vis where your parents wanted you to be,
yeah,
would you say they're proud of you? Or are you the kind of person who says, you know what, I think I need to satisfy what my parents want? You know, where are you now in that space?
So I used to be that person. You know, I really wanted to make my mum proud. Really, my dad left us when we were young. So I really wanted to make her proud. It got to a point where I realized, you know, it's not my mum's style. She's a very tough nut to crack. She's proud, but she won't say it. You know, she would tell my aunties, yeah. Okay. She would just tell my aunties, you know, that kind of thing. You know, my parents wanted me to become a doctor, and you know, income-wise, you know, I'm doing exceptionally well. You know, I'm adding value in a lot of places. Right now, we have a huge building schools program in Ghana, the Volta region of Ghana. We're building schools. We're kitting it with brand new computers. The next phase, we're going to start building hospitals in Ghana as well. So even though, you know, I didn't quite become a doctor, we're still saving lives. Absolutely, we're still going to be saving lives. So yeah, I mean, in answer to your question, I believe that she is. She hasn't said it directly, but you know, she's constantly sending pictures and articles and TV clips to my aunties, and through that, I know deep down that she must be.
Amazing. So, listening to you, Tess, you strike me as someone who has a mix of everything: coach, motivational speaker, personal finance tutor, the whole nine. Is it possible to describe you as one, or you were just more than one? Would I call you like a buffet? Is it a buffet of this?
Yeah.
Or is it just one?
The hardest thing for me is when I bump into people and we're having chit chat and they say, "What do you do?" I'm like, I actually don't know. I find out what they do first, and then it helps me to, you know, because I wear so many different hats. You know, I also run newwaytuition.co.uk, which is an online tuition service.
Why don't you do this?
Oh, and there's so much I should be doing. You know, there's just one of me, but and that's why it's so nice to partner with people on different projects, so that there's duplication. But the online tuition service is set up to support young people who can't cope in mainstream education. So we show them another way, to acquire their qualifications, and it's a worldwide project that we have right now.
So you're helping with funding for students and also for adults. Can you break that down so everybody will know where to fit and how they can access the funds that you're helping?
Oh, of course. For adults, again, the application is just via our website. They can supply their business plans, and then we'll match them with a high net worth individual. Or for people that want complete control of their businesses, we'll show them ways in which they can generate the money for themselves. So for a lot of our entrepreneurs, rather than partnering with a high net worth individual, they will opt to do one of our wealth generation programs. So whether it's e-commerce, whether it's online trading, whether it's the rewards program that pays you every single day, whether it's networking, we have a plethora of different options. If people have, if people can make good effort, sacrifice a little bit of time, they can build a 6 or 7 figure income for them to support their entrepreneurial project. So that is sometimes a much better route for people, because then they are completely in control of their projects. So
for children?
For young people, and for young people that want the education.
No, you're doing a program where you're helping
the new way.
Children.
Yes, the new way tuition.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk about.
Absolutely. So for that, again, just via our website, newwaytuition.co.uk, and we will be able to either facilitate physical centers in local areas, or we have online tuition as well, one-to-one tuition or small groups that we provide.
Only in the UK?
No. It started in the UK. We have a branch in Dubai, and we're looking for partners around the world. And of course, we're looking for partners right here in Dubai.
I hope you get here, because honestly, for a laudable project like that, you need to really reach out to people who truly need it.
Yes.
There are lots of children here in Nigeria who are very smart, who are very intelligent, but they don't have the money to go to school and do a lot of things.
Yeah.
So you find them on social media trying to display their talents, and then you have some amazing celebrities who further share what these children are doing, and then you get to know them and all that. So there's a lot of children that have good skills.
Oh, yes.
They're gifted and all of that, but the money isn't there. Many of them want to go to school and all of that. So if you're doing such an amazing project, I know Dubai is an amazing place. I know the UK is, but bringing it home will hit
absolutely
on the head, and then to really, really go a long way, to let people really know that you really care about them and reaching out. Fantastic.
It'll be a dream come true.
Okay, so should I call you Coach Des? Or financial expert Des, or in the sea of everything, would you say you have lived so far a fulfilled life, impacting people in the area of financing?
Not even close. If you speak to members of my team, our leadership team, they will say that we have done exceptionally well, but I'm never satisfied. And it's because I know how huge the problem is and how many people need the services that we offer. So for me, I'm very grateful for the impact that we've had so far in the world, but we have so much work to do. So I'm grateful, but very dissatisfied. I've dedicated the rest of my life to this work, and I don't ever think I'll reach a point where I can rest, because until we have readdressed the poverty gap that exists in the world, there's always going to be work to be done.
Final question. Define yourself in 4 words.
Wow. 4 words I would use to describe myself are passionate. I'm very passionate about the work that I do. Dedicated. I'm extremely, extremely dedicated. I am impactful. And I am God-fearing.
Oh, what a way to end this conversation. Thank you so much for being a part of our world in business day, and for granting us, this exclusive interview. We hope you have an amazing time while you're here.
Absolutely.
And I hope you come back to. Have they given you a Nigerian name already?
Yes.
So what is it?
I think it was Abekunde.
Sorry? Abekunde.
Yeah. No.
Is that what it is?
No. What did they give me? I've had so many different ones. You give me one, and that's it.
Okay,
You give me a name.
okay, let's just go with the Adekule. Adekule means you have lots of crown in the house,
Wow.
like royalty.
Nice.
Adekule.
Adekunle.
Okay.
We love that.
So Adekule, we're looking forward to see you soon again.
Indeed.
So much, and
Thank
have
you.
an amazing time here.
Wow.
Be blessed as you
Absolutely.
go around your tables and keep impacting lives. You know
Yeah.
how it is when you impact one life, you
Yes.
impact more than one life.
Yep.
You never know who you've impacted until you begin to hear their story. So you've done that to a lot of people. We wish you well, and I trust that we'll hear you more.
Wow. Amen. Amen.
Thank
Amen.
you.
Thank you for
I feel
this.
like a church.